Well, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of Tech Talk. We're going to talk today about security licenses and migrations of those security licenses. My name is Tri Nguyen. I am a product manager here at Zyxel. Looking forward to talking to you about all of these things. And if you have any questions, please feel free to use your the Q&A section to send me a message, and I will try to answer them in line. As well as answer any questions, anything that you may have. So just a little bit about who we are. If you don't know who we are, Zyxel is Zyxel Networks has been around since 1989, over 32, going on 33 years now in the market. 100 million devices making connections, 600 employees worldwide, 700,000 businesses work smarter with Zyxel solutions, connecting 150 markets together. If you are a partner with us, you are being represented by 3 of our sales reps that manages the United States and Canada, David Chen on the East Coast and Canada, Andy on the West Coast in Alaska and Hawaii, and Jacob handling the central region there, as you see here. So they are your advocates. So if you have any questions during the process of either becoming a partner or discounts, deal registrations, anything like that, or even stock situations. I know everybody is working out on those kinds of things. We are here to help you, and they are here to be your advocates to get tech support or stocking information or product information on what's best, to work out for your solution. We are internationally recognized for our innovation and design with awards around the world for our product. We design the products, and we also manufacture and work with our manufacturing arms to put together and assemble these products as we design them. We've been certified as well with ICSA on our certification and security side for the last 20 plus years. We're one of the few vendors that even have this recognition to be 20 years straight. So we're very proud of that. We are also solutions driven. If you are a partner, we like to work and build out solutions. We want to make sure that not just an access point is being installed, but also switches and gateways to kind of make a holistic solution there, because we do work with our R&D to develop products, and you have feedback with our R&D as well through us. So if you have any requests or your customers have requests for features or for products, we want to deliver that to an end-to-end system here at Zyxel. We offer a comprehensive portfolio from security appliances, wireless solutions, LAN connectivity, access gateways for hotspot, network management in standalone mode, as well as in the cloud mode. So we offer this whole entire thing. So one thing to take away, as usual, if there's anything that connects to a network, Zyxel has some sort of product that will connect that network together. So definitely keep us in mind when you are looking for different types of solutions that might not be available or you're not sure. Our product line in security is what we want to focus on today. There's a lot of functionalities, a lot of feature sets that are in play that really become a platform for you deploying security and licensing solutions that can give you either upsell opportunity or even recurring revenue opportunities every year or monthly, however you're doing it, especially for a managed service provider. You're definitely not capturing the revenue if you are just selling a piece of hardware and just leaving it there and forget about it and moving on, because there's still even just a limited number of devices that can be installed. So you want to be able to provide a solution that you can continue to gain revenue over the years, or even provide adaptive services. So as this platform is being installed, as we add new functionalities, new features, there's new opportunities for you to have upsell opportunities, as long as you've seeded the market with those hardware products. So high availability for VPN. That's very important in like the remote access work today, making sure VPN tunnels are available so that when people are remote and need to VPN into the network, it is always available there. Being able to load balance that to add high availability and also increase WAN connectivity. A lot of offices today with the remote environment, their offices were asynchronous connections. So the WAN speed download was very high, but the upload speed out to the internet was very slow. It's usually disproportionate. So you might have like a 300 meg down, but a 10 meg up. Now you can imagine the people who are on the remote side, if all of a sudden you have 10 people remotely trying to download a file, they're using that upload speed. So now they're just sharing a 10 meg file. So usability and kind of the user experience, quality of service there is really lacking because of that speed. So adding additional WANs or adding maybe another secondary WAN that has a higher upload speed becomes advantageous and gives you an ability to load balance, but also provide that failover as well. With that multi-WAN connectivity, you have multiple connections that you can make. You can have a DSL line, you have your T1 line, and then you have your maybe a cable modem line that adds some additional speeds there. Being able to also make it into a virtual tunnel, making VPN act as if two different connections are now one bigger connection can also help with the speed and connectivity. We also offer remote access licenses for the desktop clients. So secure a VPN with SSL, or if you're doing IPsec, it also supports L2TP that's built into devices, mobile devices, tablets like that, to still make that VPN connection back to the office. We've kind of wrapped it together to make it simple and easy with some, zero configuration or very simple configuration options that allow for you to do that remotely as well to kind of help with the configuration challenges that may arise, especially for VPN and connectivity. And we use some of the latest robust security VPN encryption that's available today in the market. On the UTM side, those services, things like antivirus, content filtering, layer 7 scanning, and also GeoIP enforcement, these are all kind of frontline defense things that are very valuable. Again, as a security appliance, it becomes a platform for you to sell this kind of threat management. So antivirus, everybody knows about that. That's our first layer of defense against those kinds of scanning protections, malware, and these kind of protect it at that front end. So it looks at some of the latest threats that are ongoing throughout the world and protect against those. It's definitely not a replacement to local antivirus software, so you'll still have to have that at the endpoint itself. But this will help to kind of mitigate all of that kind of traffic that to even hit that. So it allows for those devices to maybe, if they only update once a week, it kind of bridges that gap, because as these can be updated every hour if you wanted to check the signatures for that. So once a day, I think it's by default, but you can check it even hourly if you want. Content filtering is also another service that many of our partners use, and it's one of our most popular services because it's the typical application or question that people have, especially for remote users or even for the office environment. How do I block people from going to social media? How do I block them from going to things like YouTube or that kind of thing? How do I block that? So content filtering allows for you to block different categorizations of URLs, and based on that will allow for certain types of users to have that access or not have that access. So it's very flexible in providing the how you want to block it, be able to have managers have access fully, but maybe certain employees or the technical employees only have access to a certain level of things. Layer 7 scanning is also popular, especially in the hospitality today, with being able to block things like BitTorrent, being able to detect them all the way at the layer 7 packet level and be able to block those services. So I get a lot of hotels who ask, how do I block people from downloading illegal videos or music and things like that on my hotel network, my public Wi-Fi network? So this layer 7 scanning will allow for you to do that kind of blocking. So it blocks all the torrents, and at the same time, you block the torrent sites from the content filtering. So kind of a combination there to allow for that holistic of deployment. Also in GeoIP enforcement, you can detect it by basically traffic that comes from a certain area, a certain country, that you can block that kind of traffic. So it will also help to mitigate some of those excess traffic that you may see that could be malicious. On the higher end, we also have services like sandboxing. So it allows for 0-day threat management. So if it detects something that is not registered anywhere, you can actually send it off to the cloud. The cloud will analyze that and then create signatures based on what it detects in that sandbox. So you can actually adapt. So these services will adapt to over time as well to become safer as more and more threats come through. Botnet malware blocking, again, just more services that are there. Intrusion detection and prevention. Some applications like HIPAA compliancy or even PCI compliancy require this kind of application to make sure that you're not there's not malicious signatures or infiltrating actions that are happening, or even like exploits for certain vulnerabilities, we can prevent against that. And also with reputation filter, we can detect where an IP address may be considered malicious and use that as a reputation to block it based on kind of this worldwide heuristics and signatures there. So a lot of different services that can be bundled or be sold individually, like secure Wi-Fi, which I'll cover a little bit later. Also with the management AP, because all of our devices then come with a controller built in. So you want to be able to unlock those if you want to manage your APs in the process on a standalone mode. Or hotspot management. Some of our appliances provide you the ability to add a ticket printer or even a virtual ticket printer. And people can go through, get a username, password. They can use that as a point of sale device to issue out a ticket, maybe at a coffee shop or things like that, or along with the receipt. Or they could just do credit card billing as well. So you can do tiered billing, where some services are free, so you have free access, but maybe the bandwidth is only 1.5 meg. But if you want a 5 meg or a 10 meg connection, then you can pay like a nominal fee and go through a checkout process and be able to process that access right away. So link aggregation, high availability, SSL packet inspections, these are just some additional higher level security functions that are part of the appliance itself. Radius integration, so you can check in with an Active Directory for policies and authentication, so you can manage all that within the system and be able to do it very easily. So we have kind of 3 product lines that kind of provide you this base platform foundation to which you then put the security license on. The VPN series is based on VPN, so it's very simple. USG Flex is flexible, that it can be VPN or it can be UTM. So that's your flexibility. And then the ultimate flagship that we have is our ATP series, which is kind of everything bundled together. So just keep that in mind. So on the VPN side, it's again focused on VPN. It still has the wireless controller, has some content filtering. It does SD-WAN support and also device high availability again, but its main focus is for connectivity and for VPN connectivity for remote users. They use USG Flex models. They're all about high performance flexibility with both UTM and VPN connectivity. It has enhanced UTM to use cloud-based scanning as well to enhance the speed of the UTM scan, or you can still do it signature-based. It still has the wireless controller, device high availability in some of our higher models, but it's really about support and about flexibility. It can be managed in standalone, and also it can be managed in our Nebula cloud, which you can see I'm featuring right here in space. So that's what we want to focus on, is that this USG Flex model is that where you want to go on the most case, or at least that's where you want to start. But then we also have, if you want everything kind of bundled together, our ATP series is now part of the Nebula platform. So you can use that again, both in standalone and in Nebula. But with the bundle that you buy with it, everything's kind of included in that. You could just buy one box, one license, and it's just all unlocked, fully loaded. Wireless controller has all of the access points fully loaded. Still provides you device high availability, but the main difference that it offers is that sandboxing technology, enhanced UTM to allow for both cloud and standalone signature mode. So it can do both at the same time. And then also offer you that IP reputation and URL threat management filtering. So these are some of the features that are available in the split there. You'll notice some of these circles. It just means that you have to get an optional license, things like content filtering for the VPN series. Hotspot management is an optional license. But if you buy the bundle, the bundle license typically will come with all these services bundled together, as you see. And then the ultimate bundle then has all of the other feature sets. So the Flex series is what I kind of want to focus on, because that's really our bread and butter. These are, this chart is on our website. You can always refer to it later on, but let me just explain to you a little bit about what it means. Let me get my little pointer out here. So on the first purchase, what this means is when you buy, for the first time you do the install, you buy the hardware device with the licenses. So it's a bundled product. Then all of these features will come bundled with it. All the on-prem, all of the anti-malware, all the way up to the hospitality management. And then on the Nebula Cloud, because it's a slightly different kind of a feature set, these are the services that you'd have there. as well as profile sync here on the cloud, because the profile sync doesn't happen on a standalone side. And then the Nebula, it comes with the Nebula pack there as well. So it comes bundled with Nebula when you buy it as a hardware bundle. So that's that first purchase. Now on renewals are a little bit different, where the renewals, when you buy the 1-year bundle licenses, the pack license concludes all of these services, but then the hospitality is, considered separate for the renewals, and as well as the Nebula, it's included there as well when you buy that renewal. So it includes the full professional and plus pack of those services on that renewal. If you buy the single licenses, these ones are the only ones that come with single license. So if you buy the hardware only and you want to just have a la carte edition, then web filtering, anti-malware, and secure reporter are separate licenses. Or if you want to add secure Wi-Fi to the product, then you have to buy it separately. So secure Wi-Fi is a totally separate service that you add. And I'll talk again about secure Wi-Fi in a moment, a little bit more in detail. Now, the only difference between the USG Flex and the ATP is when you buy first purchase or renewal, you just get everything that's available. So everything is opened up, including the secure tunnel AP management in those scenarios. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A section. I'll get to those as soon as I can. McAfee, WebRoot, Lastline, Trend Micro, Bitdefender, these are some of the partners that are leading the industry in security and that we utilize and we leverage to provide security services on our platform. So we use their expertise, their signatures, their information to build out on our products. So we provide some of the best options there for you and for your customer. And we want to be flexible as well, because we know that we have a lot of security appliances that are out there. Our last generation, our USG series, they have been in the market for, I think, 7 or 8 years. So there's thousands upon thousands of devices that are out there in the market today that will need upgrade if they haven't upgraded yet. So we have an opportunity here as well to seek out some of your existing customers that may be upgrading again to a higher speed, maybe need some performance, maybe need to renew. That here's a great opportunity for you to act on right away. So let's say they already have a USG and they want to migrate to a USG Flex, but they already have services that are out there on those devices. And that's been the number one reason why most people don't immediately upgrade, is because they're like, well, I don't want to waste the services that are there. So they'll try to use it up as much as possible before they switch over to the new series. But what we've done is we've actually helped with that migration process. So in this example, it's an extreme example where all of the services are expiring at all different times. And web filtering is 7 months, has 7 months left. So that's the one that has the most licenses and the one that would lose the most if it was to be, it would all disappear. But what we do is when you migrate over, we will extend the services for free. So we'll extend everything else up to 7 months, which is the one that was the longest to expire, free of charge. We will exchange that over to the new USG Flex as you migrate over. So really, there's no loss. There's only kind of uptick in the ability to upgrade to the new license. Now, let's say they bought a bundled license instead, which comes with 1 year. So if they get a USG Flex bundled, what we do is we just add that 7 months, tack it onto the 12 months that are already there in the process. So you get 19 months worth of services in that new UTM device. So we're getting really no reason why not to upgrade as soon as the customer is ready, or as soon as their internet connectivity gets to a point where they need to have higher throughput and not sacrifice security. So some of our models are NSG. If you were using our cloud-based models, these are the models that it will transfer over to. And then on the USG, if you were using a USG 40, a 60, 110, 210, 310, et cetera, those will migrate over to the USG Flex. Now, also keep in mind, if you are unsure, if you don't know this chart, or you don't know which one will transfer, you can always just look at, kind of performances and gauge, because sometimes you just need a reset. Sometimes you may have gotten a much larger device, let's say a USG 310, because of throughput requirements. But then you said, well, I could get away with, or I can use a slightly lower box to still maintain that kind of throughput, because these are, better products, better CPU, better processing on a newer generation model. It can satisfy some of those needs as well. But you can still transfer them over. And what we've done is we've also named the device. So USG Flex 100 is also named a USG 40 version 2. So it'll have a V2 on it. It'll be on the packaging, it'll be on the labeling, it'll be on the belly, etc. So it helps you to know what product is which, right? So which one it comes from or goes to from your migration path. Now, USG bundles, one thing I want to make sure you understand is the bundles now, instead of including all the licenses for the USG, the old generation, we only have now an AV content filtering. So it's a -AV CF bundle. So that bundle includes the antivirus, the content filtering, and also Secure Reporter. So those are all included there. It no longer has IDP licenses. So the intrusion detection prevention is no longer available, though we do have services still until November of this year. So if you buy the AVCF, then it will automatically will update. I think it takes about 3 to 5 days for it to automatically then update that you have the IDP services, and you'll be able to use IDP until that November timeframe. The USG, the old generations, also does not have any anti-spam services. That was our least popular because a lot of the cloud services that were out there, they already offered some sort of anti-spam scanning and junk mail, email services that are part of that service. So it was kind of a little bit antiquated, where people weren't really hosting their emails anymore, in their local environment to where this scan was happening. But what we have done though, is we now offer a standalone cloud email security service, which I will talk about in a little bit as well, and kind of towards the end there. So I'll talk about our cloud email security service so that you can, again, more licenses that you can apply, and it doesn't depend upon which hardware, which USG or ATP in the network. It could just be sold as even a standalone product if you want. So these are the migrations that you have there. If these services are needed, you need to migrate. I mean, if like IDP or anti-spam is absolutely needed in the hardware, then I would suggest you migrate your customers over to the USG Flex or the ATP series. You want to be able to manage, if you don't already have a MyZyxel account or a Circle account, make sure you log into myzyxel.com and create an account if you haven't already. In the top right corner, there'll be some three dots for the settings or applications. When you click on it, you can go to Circle. And when you go to Circle, it will ask you and prompt you for your company information to apply for Circle. Circle is basically an online e-commerce site that we've created to help partners manage their devices and be able to buy services, buy licenses, both in key form and also apply them directly to device. So if you are a managing VAR or an MSP and you've been put on as a manager for a particular customer's device, you'll see it populate into the Circle side. So when you log into Circle, you get a dashboard of what things are expiring. You can select the devices themselves and see what services are expiring, and then choose, checkbox what services you want to buy. If you want to buy the bundle, or if you want to buy just individual services, you can do that. You add it to your cart, you go through a checkout process, and once it's paid for and been confirmed, then those licenses are automatically applied to the device. So no longer do you have to worry about handling keys, codes, whatever it is, or buying for the wrong device. We've had a lot of customers who end up buying for maybe a wrong model and then have to deal with, returns and buying the correct one. So there's a lot of headache that goes on to that. So this really helps to solve that. And being able to buy also license keys, you can still buy them and then give them and sell them to the customer so they can apply it to their device if you're not the managing partner. But what we want is you be able to add as a managing partner, so you have that full visibility. You get visibility of when it expires. You can do reports on what's expiring in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days out, so that you can take action on either contacting the customer and really harvesting that revenue that's coming from those platforms. So it really becomes a revenue generating platform for you to be able to charge maybe monthly services to a customer and then be able to manage it within this cloud service. You can buy even like monthly services on any of those licenses as well. So if you don't want to invest in the 1 year's worth of services for the device, you can always do it monthly as well. But then you have to kind of manage it because right now we don't have an automated billing system yet. But that's what we're working on, is be able to auto bill you for these services for those customers, and then be able to you just have to worry from a month to month standpoint rather than a whole year and recouping that. So definitely sign up to that, myzyxel.com. Our products also support AWS and Microsoft Azure cloud services. So we're certified with both of them, and we're only one of 7 vendors in the world that have a VPN gateway that can connect to both, and connect to either, and are certified with both services. So if you have more and more applications going to the cloud, they're doing cloud-based DNS services or file shares, and requirement is usually a firewall that can make that connectivity. So definitely keep us in mind on those kinds of applications. There's no additional licenses though for that kind of service. So it's definitely a new value add. Now, of course, we're in the new norm. Just like myself, I'm on hybrid work mode. I work from home and in the office just a couple times a week, but primarily at home. It's kind of the new norm. And we want to be able to make sure, especially me as a product manager from the security side, I want to make sure that everybody is doing it correctly, doing it safely, making sure that your connectivity is secure and also it's available. So with all this remote access, how do you manage a remote office and all these employees without having to deal with just like VPNs for everybody? So what we've introduced is what we call secure Wi-Fi. Secure Wi-Fi allows for us to extend the workplace, the home and the work environment all the way to the home or to maybe a remote office. So typically in before, you can use like a secure VPN. You can use IPsec VPN, SSL VPN on your laptop, while you're traveling. But based on what network you're connected to, let's say on home, you're connected to your home network Wi-Fi, which then your IT has no control over, and there's no security, no business class type security or even policy enforcements that are happening. Then there's doing the VPN back to the office. So what we've implemented, we've simplified this kind of remote environment by what we call secure Wi-Fi. You're able to drop in a secure Wi-Fi enabled access point, and it will extend the SSID from your office automatically and create a secure tunnel seamlessly between the office and the device. And any policies that you have is also enabled as well. So you're able to simplify that deployment. You can just drop in the device, or even on a remote, maybe it's like a temporary workplace, like a construction site that wants to extend their network into that area without having to bring, kind of set up an entire network for that. You can literally have this AP as long as you get internet connectivity, maybe from an LTE or 5G router or something like that, that gives it a basic network. The remote AP can be dropped in, creates the tunnel back to the office. The office now has that same SSID. So let's say I have a SSID at my work called Zyxel, and my work laptop is configured for that. It has 802.1x authentication. It has these policies that are built into that SSID. Now at home, my IT can give me a remote AP. I can install it into an existing home network and plug it in, and it will have a tunnel rule that will then go to the office. So that allows for you to then make that connectivity, and I will have a Zyxel SSID at home, and my laptop will automatically connect to it because it's still serving it based on the protocols and the policies. And I still get content filtered. I still get all of my policies, and any other devices that are in my home can't connect to it because it can't authenticate to that Wi-Fi. So it really, again, provides an easy way, plug and play, and heavily controllable by the IT to manage that kind of network connectivity. So that is a licensed services, again, with the platform that's already been deployed out there with the AP, with the USG Flexes or the ATPs. You now can offer this services on top of that. So even if it's ultimately underlying, it's a licensed service for a year, you can add it as an upsell charge or an upsell service to move customers from a $49 a month plan to a $59 a month or $69 a month plan. So you have that opportunity to kind of upsell or create these different plans with these different levels of services. So really, it's up to you on how you want to kind of collect that. So it's really a whole new kind of frontier, being able to manage everything now in the cloud. So if the advantages of using Nebula as a cloud platform that manages our access points, our gateways, and our switches is now we can have what we call a collaborative defense response. So we can do things like finding threats, responding to the threats, and containing those devices at the edge. So at the wireless access points, preventing them from communicating with other devices within that network. So we can do that. We can, after we manage, it's it's malicious, we can block out those types of devices and be able to isolate them. So our Nebula side kind of comes with 3 flavors of licenses, kind of for the management platform itself. Nebula in its core is a free service. So you get the base pack, which is a license-free feature. We have a subset of the full feature set that are available in the free, but you can do quite a lot of things. If you are interested in a demo, you can just go to nebula.zyxel.com and log into the demo and just kind of see what's there. And we also have some battle cards that show you the differences between the features. But if you're looking to set it, you get management, you get auto provisioning, you want visibility on the Wi-Fi, you want visibility on the switch network and gateway. The base pack free has all that available. But then if you are an MSP and you want to add kind of the full feature set, some of advanced functionalities, including management reporting, and automated customized reports with your logo, things like that, that's where you go to the Pro Pack or to the MSP pack. MSP pack also gives you additional notifications. It helps you to manage the different organizations better and easier when you have lots of different customers, and be able to manage it with like alerts, maybe global alerts. But it's used as an add-on to anything that's a base plus or a Pro Pack. So if you don't know the difference between those, again, we have battle cards that show you the different feature sets to find out what is most cost effective for it. These licenses are per device. So whether it's a switch, a gateway, or an access point, these licenses are applied per device. So on a street price level, just to kind of give you an idea, Pro Pack per device on the street price is around $30 a year. So about $2, $2.50 per month. So you can kind of get a feel of, if you're offering a cloud managed service, how much can you charge per month to make it make sense, right? For you to manage all those kinds of devices. So that's kind of the start. Of course, if you are a partner, which we haven't talked about until later, partners do get their partner discounts. So obviously it's going to be discounted off of that street price there. I wanted to talk about cloud-based email security, because that's one of the new services that we had launched at the end of last year. And it's called cloud-based cloud email security. So email is very important because that's one of the main threats that people have. Phishing sites or phishing emails. There's a lot of kind of threat vectors that are coming through on that. And even the business itself, cloud-based email security was valued about $700 million, and next year, or it's forecasted to become a value of 1.1 billion coming soon. So every year, about an 8% growth there. Enterprises continue to push that. They want to be able to do cloud-based services, especially because a lot of cloud-based attacks are happening, right? Because everything's moving to the cloud. There's cloud emails that get attacked, or kind of those attack vectors are there. So in a recent survey, about 3 to 4% of all emails contain some sort of virus or some sort of malicious or phishing. It translates into 6 million viruses in emails. I'm sure I get a lot of those that are caught in my spam all the time, or as the unknown or potential virus threat. And a lot of the volume as well is has confidential information being sent as well. So we want to make sure that that's always secure. So making sure that cloud security and making sure your email is not compromised is a big deal, because we send a lot of information across email all the time, and we don't want that to be compromised. So why do we need cloud email security? Well, we could do some features like SSL inspection for email. So if things are encrypted, we can also scan it. There's no physical installation that's required. It can just be managed kind of in line with what existing is there. It supports for SNMP, all of these TLS protocols. You can get email protection for Office 365, the Gmail suite, or even on-prem email servers and stuff like that. It can protect against email fraud and phishing attacks. We get a lot of that, especially when we're dealing with sales and somebody sends a phishing email, or maybe a compromised PDF, or some executable, or a doc, a Word doc, or an Excel file that says, hey, this is an order, please process. So it becomes very fishy when you see that, and it's we get to see that all the time as a manufacturer. You also get up-to-date security, real-time threat intelligence informations within that cloud security platform. So it's a holistic protection. It's email protection for the entire company. It combines multiple technologies, things like anti-malware to protect against 0-hour Trojans, worms, viruses that could be in the email. And then new malware is identified when it first appears. So it again protects and then submits that into the cloud. The cloud AI will generate that information and now inoculate or protect against that altogether. Anti-phishing, these protections, and it's constantly evolving how people, the hackers and stuff are putting out these kinds of emails. So again, we can block against and help against 0-hour attacks, any kind of fake URLs we can look for and see if they're legitimate websites and take action against that. I'm sure many of you have probably gone through the anti-phishing or security trainings that are offered by companies. Our IT makes us go through that as well, just so that we're readily armed with information on how they're using fake URLs, extra.com here and there, and that really kind of masks that you're thinking it's coming from a legitimate source, but it's really not. Anti-spam capabilities to filter emails based on categorization, fingerprints, be able to see like bulk emails or newsletters, and be able to take kind of a threshold and mark it as spam or not. But of course, you have full control over that as well. The threat protection is really, really crazy. There's 25 billion security transactions that happen daily on the platform, 300 million threats that are being blocked daily as well. So a lot of transactions in this platform, and it's always kept to date in the cloud service. So you can use an existing email infrastructure, and now you're just adding this layer of email security. So it's easy to it helps to reduce that IT management, people having to manage every individual device email or their own spam box, etc. You can manage it all within a central cloud. So there's a dashboard, gives you an overview of the threats, the things that people maybe have incidents and things like that. It shows the status in different time frames. If you look at it as a graph if you want. So again, it simplifies things into a visual network to see what is going on within that email threat. And then you can also get email summaries through the dashboard. So you can send reports, you can get information on trends, maybe certain types of attacks, phishing and malware, and you can utilize that to kind of inform and help customers. Maybe there tends to be more phishing attacks of this sort, and then you can take action and prepare the employees at that location with training or for information that to be on the lookout, to be able to watch that. So you can take care of those kinds of security alerts. So it comes in kind of these licensing flavors. It's user-based, and it's set right now at a 3-month license. So it's a per 3 months. You can stack them. So if you get 4 of these licenses, you'll get a year. We are checking to see if they'll eventually release like a yearly license. But again, this gives you kind of a good the reason why they kind of put it at a 3-month is maybe number of users tend to change. And so if you're like at a 10, you only have to subscribe for 10 user licenses for 3 months, but then maybe tomorrow you'll have 25 users, so you can then or 3 months you have 25 users, so you can upgrade to that 25 user instead and pay for that licenses, or move back down if you happen to have employees that are meeting or not meeting those thresholds. So you have the flexibility to do that. And you can activate the trial to test it out. If you have, again, my Zyxel account, so go to myzyxel.com. On the left side, you'll see there's a cloud service section, and then there's a cloud email section. You can then go in there, create your customer organization. So that just creates kind of whatever, you can call it your company, but that's where you would create. This is where you would also create organizations to manage your customers themselves for this service. Ultimately, we're probably going to move this kind of interface also into the Nebula Cloud side for management as well. Then just click on the link there and add the licenses. So you link a license to that organization, because what happens with MyZyxel before is you have to buy different licenses. You can have a bunch of different licenses loaded into your account, but not applied to anybody. And then you go into each individual device that you want to apply, and there'll be a drop-down box that lets you choose which licenses can be applied for that you have available, and be able to consume that into that device. So here you can then look at and get a trial 5-user license for 30 days. You can activate that. Now you're on an active trial. And then if you look at the license, you'll see there the remaining amount. There'll be 30 days there for that license. So you can check out that information there. So I wanted to talk about our partner program. If you're not currently a partner or looking to become a partner, as a new partner, there's no cost to you. There's never a cost even as to maintain it. You start out in silver tier, unless you've been, typically you start at a silver tier. And to maintain silver, you just have to do 6K in 6 months. So it's 1K a month in Zyxel sales, a product, which is like 2 firewalls a month, maybe, or even just 1 firewall. And you'll be able to get there to maintain that. But we want you to move to gold because that gives you the most discount at distribution. We work on a distribution channel model. So to maintain gold or to get to gold, you just have to do 2K a month. So again, if you're in the network business, 2K a month is really a low, kind of a low level there so that you can get there. We want to be able to maximize and reward partners who are loyal and are, consistent with us. So that's why we have that kind of target level there. We work with our distribution partners, D&H, Ingram, Synix, Wave, Target Distribution, and Pace International. If you're looking for any products there, availability, you can get in contact either your sales rep. If you're not signed up with a partner, also contact one of our sales reps and we can help sign you up with the partner. If you're not a partner, then you're leaving money on the table. You're leaving margin on the table there where you could be getting the discounts at distribution. Or if you're looking at doing deal registrations, you have some projects that you're working on, then you need to require some products advice. We definitely are here to help you decide which products are best for that customer and offer you a complete solution there. So if you don't mind, if you'd like to connect with us on our LinkedIn and our YouTube also has a lot of the videos and the webinars that you have here recorded. So some topics that might be of interest of you, you may want to check it out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Zyxel America channel. And if you want to check out our LinkedIn, linkedin.com, it's just Zyxel-US-channel. And that's our connection there, how you can connect with us. So if there's any last minute questions, the floor is open to you. If you have any questions, again, feel free to use the Q&A section. If you don't have any questions and there aren't any other questions, again, I thank you so much for attending this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you're at. If you have a question later on, as you rewatch this or you find something out on our website, please feel free to email me. It's TRI at Zyxel.com. TRI@Zyxel.com. And you're very welcome there, Carnegie. Welcome. So if there's no other questions at this moment, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and give you guys the rest of your day. Again, thank you. Appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you at another Tech Talk soon. Until then, have a good day.